Good morning. It is Monday, August 28th, 2017. My name's Nate Quarterer. I am your instructor for your online hybrid ICN environmental science class this fall. I hope you were able to find the Brightspace page and get in there and start working on things. I got a few emails from people who are having some issues getting logged in here. And so I'm going to walk you through real quick how to set this up, and then hopefully that'll put most of the questions to rest. And so what you'll do is you'll come to the Brightspace page, assuming you know how to get there, nicc.brightspace.com/d2l/home. And once you get over to Brightspace, what you need to do is click on our course page, Environmental Science Blended. And if you click on our page, I'm going to make this look like student so that you see the same thing. And then if you want to click on content. That's one way that you can do that. That's probably the most direct way. And so if you click on content, that'll take you to the content browser. And over here, we're working in week 1, gang. And so week 1 kind of officially started after Thursday night's ICN class. And so if I click on week 1, I've got access to some PowerPoint slides that I can click on, and I can page through those slides if I like. See if I can flip through there. Oops, I went to the next content. So if I click on these back and forth arrows at the top, that takes me from one item of content to the next. If I click on the arrows towards the bottom here, if I move my camera, if I click on the areas on the oops, that did the same thing. I guess the way to look through these PowerPoint slides is to go this way through there. So you can do that. You can make this a little bigger too if you want to look at them that way. So anyway, you've got some PowerPoint slides here. If I go back, maybe I don't want to look at the PowerPoint slides, but instead I want to watch a video. So I've got a video linked in here too that you're more than welcome to look at. Sustainable World. Have a check of that. Again, I'm still in the week 1 material. Here we've got an opportunity to do some introductions, and it looks like several of us have already gotten in here. So Time's in there, Sydney's in there, Emma's in here. So we've got a few people that have already started the introduction. That's great. Remember to kind of tell us who you are and where you're from and what you're working on. This is great. After you've introduced yourself again during this week 1, I should mention too, if you get into the welcome and introductions and you're going, well, how the heck do I post? If you come down here and you go start new thread, or if you do it down, oops, it is up at the top. So if you click on start new thread at the top, gang, that will allow you to introduce yourself. If you want to go to the next piece of content after you've introduced yourself, now is when you can talk to us about learning and teaching. And so this is specific to this group, or to this week rather. You won't have to do this learning and teaching thing again, but looks like Courtney and Emma and Bree and Sydney and a few other folks have already gotten in here to talk to us a little bit about learning and teaching. That's great. I would like you to at least read a couple of your classmates' posts and give them some feedback. And then now the kind of the standard stuff for each week is going to look like this. And so environmental news, week 1. Here's where I want you to go out to the internet, find a news article or a journal article, something that ties back to the ideas that you're reading about in the textbook for the week. Your original post is worth 6 points, and your comments to your classmates are worth about 4 points. I got a question, I think, over the weekend, maybe it was from Sydney, that said, how long are these supposed to be? And I apologize for not having this in here, but you know, your original post should be upwards of about 500 words or so. Couple of paragraphs, and the response to the classmates can be a little bit shorter, so maybe a couple hundred words, 250 to 300 words or so. You can look at the rubric, which is something I tried to show you on Thursday night, but wasn't able to do that. So I've got, you know, each one of these things is worth a point. So your original post, the first point that you can earn in the original post is the content is relevant. The second point is that the material is concise, summary is concise. Third point, you have to include an active hot link. I can show you how to do that. Fourth point, you raise some questions. Fifth point, you provide some original insights and critical thought. Sixth point, you show proofreading. So don't have a bunch of mistakes in there. And then the response post, are you raising questions? Are you providing original insight? Are you making reference to the original article? Are you showing evidence of proofreading? And you can get half points on these too. So these are sort of the criteria that you need to meet in order to get the full 10 points for the environmental news article. Looks like Emma's already got an article in here about deforestation. Time's talking about butterflies. Brianna is talking about environmental health. Sydney's talking about waste disposal. And then they've got a really nice summary, it looks like. She's got a hot link in here. I'm going to just click on Sydney's work. So in Sydney found us an article from the LA Times that looks like it was posted April of last year. So it's pretty relevant. And she's talking about the world's trash crisis. So Sydney, this looks great. I would encourage people to come and read her post or anything else for that matter. Here, Bree's got a thing about public health. Article from a website called U.S. National Library of Medicine. So incredible. This is a peer-reviewed journal article. This would be an incredible example. And so she's posted a link here. She gives us a little summary and talks a little bit about some of the things that she came up with. Here's an example from Time. Time posted us a link to earthisland.org. So is it probably an online journal or an online blog? I don't want to subscribe today. And so she's given us an article here about, looks like an initiative that's happening out in Oregon to help restore butterfly population and their habitat. So Time, this looks great. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm shooting or hoping that you can get to. Again, you can start a new thread, or you could read and respond. So Sydney wrote something here to Time, or no, sorry, this is Sydney and Time responding to Emma's post. So Emma found something about Amazon reforestation. Little link from Fox News here from February of this year. So again, I really like what I'm seeing here so far, gang. We've got work from different types of resources. They're all pretty credible news agencies for the most part, I would say. And the summaries look really good. So we're off to an amazing start, it looks like, on the environmental news side of things. Again, I'd like you to have your original post in. It says by Mondays of each week at 11 p.m. I realize that we probably won't all get there this week because it's still kind of new to us. So I'll try to be lenient on the penalizing for lateness this week. But starting next week, I'll expect us to kind of have this figured out. If we go to the critical thinking assignments. So critical thinking assignments, here I guess I'm a little bit more thorough on the length and the expectations. Doesn't look like anybody's started the critical thinking assignment yet, but that's okay. I think I'd like to have those due. I don't have this written in here, but I'll add it. Try to have your original post for the critical thinking in by Wednesdays and your response to classmates in by Thursday for this week. I may push that ahead a little bit in the coming weeks, but for now that'll work. And then if you're confused about what am I getting scored on these rubrics, here's your criterion here. So 5 criterion, each worth a point, provides clear evidence that some research has been done, offers original insights, raises questions, proofread, respond to a classmate. So that's kind of it for this first week. Again, if you're confused about how to find the material, you can click on content and then go to the week that we're working in. This is still week 1. And then like with the critical thinking thing, if you're ready to respond to that, click start new thread. I think Jake asked me a question about how do I make my link active. So let's say that I wanted to respond to a critical thinking post. I'm gonna just try this real quick. So if I wanted to post about critical thinking in the critical thinking assignment, which isn't necessarily what you're supposed to do, but just so you can see how this works. So I find the link I want to share, let's say, and you could do this with environmental news assignments too. Let's say you've got a link. I copied it, put it into my mouse. I'm going to paste it. Looks like it's already active and hot. I might not need to do anything to that, but just to double check, if I click Insert Quick Link, so it looks like this little link of chain, I can copy the URL. So this is the web address that I want to put in there. If I wanted to say something else, like click me or something, or link, I don't know. You can do that in here. You can write whatever you want the text to look like. And then if you hit update, then it does that for you. Let's see if I can post this and see what happens. Subject is required. Okay, subject. So I'm just testing this to see if it works. I'll probably delete it later. So now Nate's got a test post in here. Oh, it looks like Time and Emma and Sydney did have stuff posted. It's possible that I have this one set to a setting which means you can't post until you've already, you can't read anybody else's post until you've posted something on your own, just to kind of promote the use of original thought. So that may be how I've got that set up. Anyway, I've got my links linked in there, and then it takes me to the place I wanted it to. So that's how that works. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm running out of time. If you have questions about how do I post to Brightspace or how do I access the weekly content, please don't hesitate to email me. For those of you that have already gotten started, you're off to an amazing start. Please keep up the good work. For those of you that haven't gotten started yet, that's all right. We've got a little bit of time here yet, but I'm going to expect that people start to get all of that figured out here pretty soon. So again, email me if you have questions about anything. I'll look forward to reading what you've put up online, and I'll look forward to seeing all of you over the ICN again for week 2 meeting on Thursday. All right. Talk soon, gang. Great job. Thanks.